So, after you've located yourself on the map, you need to locate yourself relative to your surroundings. So describe the geographic features in front of you. Flat areas, slopes, maybe the river, and then you can add this to your description. This gives context to when you give your detailed description of the features in front of you. When describing the features in front of you, first of all, identify how many features you're describing. Maybe you're describing the pool, the slope, maybe some streams. So once you've identified your feature, you can go into some detail. In the case of the pool, you can look at the clarity of the pool, the colour of the water, are the bubbles. Maybe you can't see bubbles, but maybe you can hear them. Maybe you can smell things. Maybe there's an eggy smell. What's the banks of the pool made of? What colour are the banks of the pool? So water may be running out of the pool. If it is, it's important to take an estimate of how fast that water is running out. You may have to think of an analogy. How many footballs a minute, or how many basketballs a minute, or how quick could it fill up a milk jug? You want to try and get an idea of litres per minute. So, in addition to the water, the biology may be very important. There's algae growing around the hot pools. There's plants, describing those plants. There's even little flies that can give you useful information about the chemistry and the temperature of the water. Don't get too obsessed with the biology. Remember, you're a geologist. Make sure the rock gets a good description. Use your usual tools. What's the hardness of the rock? Describe the texture of the rock, the colour of the rock. In this case, what we have is a silica sinter. It has a very distinctive texture that you want to make sure you describe. With your descriptions, it's important to record changes. Geothermal systems are dynamic. Stuff happens all the time on timescales of minutes, on timescales of hours, and on timescales of years. So every time you come back to a place, things may have changed, and this is what makes your recordings very important. So one way to measure changes on the short term, maybe a geyser erupts just for a few minutes, you can time this on your stopwatch, and you can use this information together with your estimates of flow rate to give a discharge for the day. So you need to be recording all this information in your field book. And remember, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So the more pictures you can do on different scales, illustrating these processes and these observations, the better. There are important elements to every sketch. For example, a scale, a north arrow, and clearly identifying what you're describing in your descriptions. So it doesn't matter if you're not the greatest artist in the world, as long as you can clearly label your sketch with your descriptions. So the important thing about this exercise is the more information, the better. It's all about detailed observations. You can't have too many observations. Everything gives you a little hint about what's going on inside the geothermal system.